Team Racing Series returns to ETV Live on Tuesday nights following the Fast Track Racing Series radio show. After organizing a highly successful team series in 2010, Jerry Wolf is back with some kick butt, take no prisoners, team racing action like you have never seen before. The ETV Live Team Racing Series is sponsored by HD Radio Network live on Tuesday nights from 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't wimp out, dude. Catch the action live at etv-eplay.net.
Hello there, and welcome to the ETV Live Team Series from us at Rockingham Motor Speedway. Tonight in the booth, it's going to be the Kyle Show again. Myself, Kyle Peddle, alongside Kyle Young. Well, Kyle, I hope you had a good Easter. I know I did. Full up on turkey, but now it's time to get back to racing.
Indeed it is, Kyle, and good evening to everybody watching out there here on ETV Live from Rockingham Speedway. A bit of a different venue change from what we saw last week. Last week we were at the 1.5 mile speedway at Chicagoland Speedway, and this week we go to a 1 mile speedway that acts like a short track, very high banked and very bumpy at Rockingham Speedway. So a bit of a change up between these 2 weeks, but should still be able to see that exciting racing that we all thrive for.
And right now we're going to actually take a look at last week's results for the team series here from Chicagoland. Last week, after some, I'm going to have to say, some controversial moves happened between Hollywood Motorsports and, once again, ETV Live. Not sure what we got going on there. But the Hollywood Motorsports did come out on top, scoring 122 points. They led Hulls on Post out of Chicagoland. They had 119 points. Third is the Asphalt Assault Series. They got 111 points. Fourth is Full Throttle Series. They got 109 points. Rounding out your top five was the Super Speedway Cup Series. They got 107 points. Your ETV Live teams, or your ETV Live team, was 6th with 102 points. 7th was Crossed Up Motorsports at 85 points. So definitely not a good day for Crossed Up Motorsports or the ETV Live group.
No, it was not, and last week was a big hit for the Crossed Up Motorsports guys. They were the ones who picked up the victory at Iowa Speedway, and we're looking to continue that momentum as we headed in Chicagoland last week, but unfortunately the majority of their team getting taken out in wrecks before halfway through the event, and that marred them back in the field, and it definitely showed in last week's team standing results.
Well, and also with Chicagoland being such a cookie-cutter track / kind of draft-happy, it definitely was difficult to pass there. Now I'm going to take a look at your championship results right now. Still, Hulls on Post having another solid week again. They are still leading the way at 610 points. Super Speedway Cup Series, though, I think they made up a little bit of ground from Hulls on Post last week. They're up to 588 points, so only 22 back. There is your Asphalt Assault Series. They got 525 points. Fourth is the Full Throttle Full Throttle Series. They got 522 points. Crossed Up Motorsports is so close behind Full Throttle. They got 521 points back. So that's only a point difference. And actually, looking at the standings right now, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th team, they're only separated by 4 points. So definitely close racing for 3rd. And then you got your teams that are pretty much, well, they're out of it. You got the ETV Live team, they're 157 points back, and Hollywood Motorsports just trying to make some noise and try to show everybody that next season we're going to be contenders. They're back at 240 points. Well, I've never been here at Rockingham. I have no idea what to expect here, Kyle. Do you know what we might expect here?
Indeed I do, Kyle. Rockingham, one of our tracks that have been added onto the iRacing service here. It's a very, very bumpy 1 mile high banked oval. The bottom side of these turns are very bumpy and can cause some problems as these drivers try to tackle those bumps on the bottom side of the racetrack. The bottom side is definitely where you're going to want to try and be to make your passes, but being that it's very bumpy, it is very easy to knock the car loose and knock the car out of focus and could cause some problems tonight. Giving each other a lot of room is going to be very important for tonight's race and trying to make it last. It's not a very long race. We only have 115 laps, and at a 1 mile speedway, that can go fairly quickly, especially under green flag racing. So it's kind of a speedway that acts like a short track in a way. It should give us some very exciting racing to watch tonight, and hopefully it's a good one, as these guys have showed up throughout the entire season so far. It's been a great series to watch, and I have no doubts that tonight is going to be any different.
Well, also you're speaking that this is a really great series. This is the halfway point of the season. These guys got 6 races to go after they leave here at Richmond, so it's getting down to crunch time. If you haven't started to make your moves and try to get into the best position to get maximum amount of points, Falls on Post will run away with this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, this is definitely a week where the teams are going to have to get together after we leave this track and get back to the shops for the week, where they got to see where they're at and see what they're going to be given. Right now, it looks like it's going to be coming down to the 2 teams at the top of the board, the Halls on Post guys and the Super Speedway Cup team. They look to be the 2 driver teams who are going to be battling it out for the championship this season. 22 points is definitely a margin that can be made up for the Super Speedway Cup guys, and the Halls on Post guys know that, and they want to be able to finish up the second half of the season as well as they started the first half. The 3rd place in points is definitely up for grabs between the Asphalt Assault, Full Throttle, and Crossed Out Motorsports teams. Those 3 teams only be separating by 4 points, so we still got a great points battle on our hands. It's been exciting, and I don't think it's going to be any different from that. As we get down towards the wire here, getting ready to crown a champion, I think it's going to be even more exciting to see who's going to get it. But we still got a lot of racing to go. We still got a lot of different types of tracks. I was looking through the schedule just before we went on the air. We got tracks like Atlanta, Richmond. We got Talladega coming up. So we're pretty much throwing everything in there through the season.
And now we're going to send it down trackside for the national anthem with the Cactus Cuties.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back here to Richmond Richmond Speedway. We're going to send it down trackside now for the most famous words of motorsports.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Starting on the pole on row number 1, it's going to be Ryan Manning. And you know what? These guys are yelling in my ear. We're at Rockingham. I don't know what I said. I'm sorry for what I said. But anyway, back to reality is, starting on the pole, row number 1, it's going to be Ryan Manning in the 19 machine for Hollywood Motorsports. To his outside, starting second, is going to be Dwayne Vincent.
Bobby Terrell making a return to the series after a couple of weeks of absence. He starts in 3rd place tonight with C.J. Laver's number 11 machine to his outside.
That would be row number 2. Row number 3 is going to be the number 10 car, John Abbott, and to his outside in the number 29 machine, Brandon Traburco.
Hollywood Motorsports team captain Mark Bratcher's number 24 machine is going to roll off tonight's race in 7th place with Jose Gonzalez's number 12 to his outside in 8th.
Once again, that's going to be row number 4. And row number 5 now, starting 10th is going to be Billy Weeks. Starting 9th is going to be Guy Schneider, the 4th. Starting to his outside is going to be Billy Weeks.
Row number 6 is going to consist of the number 30 machine of Andrew Berger, and his outside is going to be fulfilled by the number 21 of Jesse Murphy.
Row number 7 is going to be Rod Flagg. To his outside, Doug Roth.
The number 15 machine of Timothy Sillen is going to start row number 8, matching his car number in 15th position with Glenn Hendricks number 31 in 16th.
Rolling off in row number 9 is going to be Josh Hardervinson in the number 14 machine. To his outside, Greg McKinney, who did not take time, but he's been fast here lately, so we're going to see what's going to happen.
The rest of the drivers not taking time. Row 10 consists of Steve Rosner in the 27 and the 26 of Steve Speece.
Row 11 is going to be Dakota Ehrman and Tony Bowling, and on row number 12, rounding out your field, is going to be Sean W. Brown. 23 cars here today for this jam-packed field for the ETV Live Team Series presented by the HD Radio Network, the leader in sim broadcasting. Pace car is going to pull off, green flag is going to go up in the air, and we're racing at Rockingham.
Green flag is out, and Ryan Manning gets to a great start. He's going to be able to clear the number 6 machine down on the bottom side. It's going to get about a car length in between the two of them off of turn number 2. Side-by-side racing going on right behind them. Everybody is starting to single file out and get in line, ready to take on the rock for 115 laps of tonight's event. Ryan Manning is going to come off of turn number 4. He leads lap number 1.
And a little bit further back in the pack here, battling for 6 as Mark Bratcher goes around the outside of the 10 machine of John Abbott. They're just kind of going to let themselves go and file in the line. The bottom line is going to be the way to work around, the fast way to work around here at the Rock, but we're going to see later on they might move up a groove or 2.
They might be able to flirt with the top side, but for right now on these cold tires, the bottom is going to be where you want to be. Looking through the field, these guys did a great job of single filing out really quickly. And taking it easy for right now. They got a long way to go, and they know that for sure. It's a tough track to handle. These guys are going to try and settle in here and figure out what they got underneath of them for this race.
Well, you say you got a long way to go, but we got a short time to get there. We're going to have a Smokey and the Bandit reference there. Ryan Manning is definitely pulling out and checking out on Dwayne Vincent right now.
Indeed, he is. He is looking to lead the Hollywood Motorsports team back to victory lane like they did last week at Chicagoland Speedway. However, the front runner is going to switch right now from Greg McKinney to Ryan Manning for these first few laps. Ryan Manning just opening it up on the field right now. He is starting to charge away, and this could be a big message to these guys early on in the going.
Without a doubt, but you got to remember, a little bit further back in the pack, you got the the Full Throttle Cup Series guys running 5th, 7th, and 8th right now. So right now, they're trying to get the most points as possible. It's kind of strangled out. Everybody's just kind of just biding their time, waiting for these tires to pull off, wait for these things to slip inside, and see who's got the best setup underneath them.
Absolutely. I mean, like I was saying in the pre-race, this is a very brutal racetrack. These guys are going to have to deal with a very bumpy racetrack at the bottom of the bottom of the turns, and that can cause for some upset race cars. As you look into turn number 3 here, the number 5 machine trying to stick a nose under the 29 of Brendan Chaburko. He couldn't quite get it done, and Brendan got a great run coming off of turn number 4. He was able to gap him by about 5 car lengths, and he now makes sure that he will be able to stay in front of Bobby Terrell, and he goes and tries to tackle down his teammate in the number 6 machine. That's Bobby Terrell's teammate in the number 6 machine of Dwayne Vincent.
And also, Bobby Terrell's got to be a little bit careful here that he doesn't do any mistakes here. He's going to fall back into the clutches of CJ LeVere in the 11 machine of the Full Throttle Cup Series. Also, Brendan Chaburko running up in the position number 3. Remember last week how loose he was, so hopefully they figured out the setup underneath that car and he won't be as loose and wheeling the absolute snot out of that car.
Oh yeah, Cheberko did a great job of giving us some very entertaining racing, and he's about to do the same thing as he gives a shot to the back of Dwayne Vincent and pushes him, and he's going to be able to get around Ryan Manning for the lead, and now he's going to try and squeeze underneath of Dwayne Vincent off of turn number 2 to try to take the lead for himself. Cheberko wants the lead early, he's got a fast car early on, and he wants that lead from the number 6.
Well, a little bit further back, Ryan Manning's starting to go backwards. Not sure if they got a problem with him, but we got a battle up for the lead up front for Cheberko, working underneath the inside of the 6 machine of Dwayne Vincent. Dwayne Vincent's going to let him go. Brennan Cheberko is going to take over the point, and he's going to start checking out. But a little bit further back in the pack, Mark Bratcher has let his teammate Ryan Manning back in. So obviously no harm, no foul there, but obviously Ryan Manning might be struggling, might have burnt off his tires a little bit more than he wanted to. He's getting a little bit loose coming out of these corners. Not sure what's going on underneath there, but Jose Gonzalez is starting to work underneath the 24 machine of Mark Bratcher.
Gonzalez washes up just a touch, doesn't touch the number 24, but he's going to be able to complete that pass cleanly. Now he's looking underneath of Ryan Manning, as Bratcher actually is going to halt that movement a little bit. Bratcher got a great run coming off of turn number 2. He's able to get around Jose Gonzalez and his teammate Ryan Manning in one fall swoop. So move the number 24 machine up 2 spots. Mark Bratcher cracks his way into the top 5 as Manning continues to fall back. He drops back now. He loses another 2 spots. Looks like he is going to fall back to the 8th position and is now under attack for 9th from the number 7 of Guy Snyder. Ryan Manning struggling after having a very good 5-lap showing. It's a very rough racetrack, and it eats the tires quick, and unfortunately it looks like Ryan Manning has been a victim of that very quickly here. He led the first little bit, might have pushed his car a little too hard, and now he drops back to 10th place on lap 13. And back up towards the front, we have the number 29 machine of Brennan Cheberko. He has taken the lead, and he has pulled away from the number 5 machine of Bobby Terrell. He just now takes a lead by just over 1 second over Bobby Terrell, who has just about a 10th between himself and CJ LeVere. Terrell knows the success that the Asphalt Assault guys had last week at Chicagoland. He's looking to help those guys continue their success and leave Rockingham in a little bit of a better note than they left Chicagoland. Down the back straightaway we go, still single file throughout the top 10 here. Starting to see some familiar colors from what we saw last week. We see the green Asphalt Assault guys. They were a threat for the majority of the race last week in Chicagoland. You see the Hollywood Motorsports guys are up here once again. These two teams look like they are going to try and battle each other once again for the top spot. The Full Throttle guys are up there a little bit. It's actually the Full Throttle guy of CJ LeVere. He touched the wall a little bit coming off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. No harm, no foul. He keeps it clean and green. Just a quick little brush of the wall. But so far, it looks like it's going to be these 3 teams who are starting to show some strength here. 16 laps into the books. We are just under 100 laps to go. And we said that this is a fairly short race if it stays green flag racing. We're already just about 7 minutes into this race and almost 20 laps completed. So things go by very quickly here at the Rock when we're running green flag.
And a little bit further back, I'm actually looking at the 10th place battle between Ryan Manning and his teammate of Jesse Murphy. Manning's definitely just struggling with that car right now with the handling. He's been loose. He's just falling backwards and backwards and backwards, and his teammates are starting to pull, just kind of pulling away from him up front. Nothing's really changed. Brennan Cheberko still leading the way. Dwayne Vincent's starting to close the gap up a little bit. We got a new runner-up in there that I didn't see before, CJ LeVere. What happened with him?
Strong car. He is starting to bring his way towards the front, and he wants it back. He knows that he is in a very good chance at a top 3 in points, and he wants to be able to bring his team the best chance of doing so. Unfortunately, it's going to be halted just a little bit as Dwayne Vincent gets around him off of turn number 4, and that opens the door for the number 24 of Mark Bratcher. Those two get pretty close as they head into turn 1. Barely stay off of each other, no contact made though. Bratcher is going to be able to sneak around him off of turn number 2, and now the number 11 machine is left in front of his teammates Jose Gonzalez and John Abbott. Meanwhile, back at the front, looks like Brandon Chaberco's lead has all but died. It is now down to a 1/10 of a second lead as Bobby Terrell in the number 5 looks to try and make it happen. He wants to take the lead. He hasn't been here for a few weeks, and he wants to be able to come back strong, and he is doing a great job of doing so right now. He is fighting hard with Brandon Chaberco here on lap number 22 for the lead. They've got about 0.8 of a second ahead of the Hollywood Motorsports captain of America, Bratcher, in the number 24 machine. And then it's the full throttle guys of CJ Lavere and Jose Gonzalez for your top 5 spots. So far, so good here at Rockingham Speedway. We're going to take it to a quick commercial break. We will be right back. Do not go anywhere.
Racing Series returns to ETV Live on Tuesday nights following the Fast Track Racing Series radio show. After organizing a highly successful team series in 2010, Jerry Wolf is back with some kick butt, take no prisoners, team racing action like you have never seen before. The ETV Live Team Racing Series is sponsored by HD Radio Network live on Tuesday nights from 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't wimp out, dude. Catch the action live at etv-eplay.net. Join 5,000 plus other listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
Welcome back here to Rockingham Speedway. I don't know why I keep calling it Motor Speedway, but we're back here for the ETV Live Team Series presented by the HD Radio Network, the power in sim broadcasting, or the voice or my language all over the place. But anyway, during the commercial break, as you guys probably saw, Bobby Terrell did pass Mark Bratcher for the lead. So put the Asphalt Assault Series guys back up on top, and Mark Bratcher in the Hollywood Motorsports Chevrolet back to second.
Yeah, Mark Bratcher showing some pretty good strength as we got a car spinning down to the back straightaway. That's the number 14 machine of Joshua Harbison for the ETV Live team. Does not look like we have a caution out yet. He is parked backwards on the inside of the back straightaway safer barrier wall. I don't know how we don't have a caution right here, Kyle.
Well, with the iRacing thing is if the car is off the racetrack and it's not up on the racetrack, as everybody knows from watching NASCAR, the moment that Josh Harbison would have spun out there, they definitely would have thrown a caution flag. But since Josh Harbison spun out and he spun down onto the apron off of the racing surface, there would be no caution here in iRacing.
It's weird how the caution system. It's weird how the caution system works here at iRacing.com, but I guess we're gonna stay green here. No harm done so much for the battles around the racetrack. Looks like the 24 of Mark Bratcher is slowly starting to reel in Bobby Terrell, and you know, Terrell has shown one great night so far. He hasn't been here the past couple of weeks, and he came back strong, and he's out in front right now.
back to a series like this, and all of a sudden you get your car up front and you're leading and you're starting to pull away from these guys. But unfortunately, Mark Bratcher, haven't really seen too much of him. He's been kind of a mid-pack car these last couple of weeks, but now all of a sudden he's got a car that's contending for the win right now.
Indeed he does. He slowly starts to creep up on the rear end of that number 5 machine, and I'm sure within these next 3 or 4 laps or so, he's going to try and get around that number 5 machine and put Hollywood Motorsports back up on top of the board. Remember, they came off of last week. They're coming off of last week as the winners from Chicagoland Speedway. Although they are last in points, they are still wanting to show their strength and make sure that everybody knows that they are still here to contend and they are still here wanting to race. While this battle is going on, these two drivers have done a pretty good job of checking out on the field. They have about 2.5 seconds over the number 10 machine of John Abbott, who has just over half a second over the Super Speedway Cup driver of Andrew Berger. That full throttle team for that John Abbott is currently driving for, they had a pretty decent running at Chicagoland Speedway. They are one of the 3 drivers trying to battle it out in the points for the 3rd place points position. So John Abbott is well aware of that, and he's going to try and make sure he can do everything he can to get his team in a great position to try and take over that 3rd place in points. As we head back towards the front, it looks like Bobby Terrell's starting to slowly open up the gap just a little bit. He was about a 10th ahead of Mark Bratcher. Now he's just about a half a second as they come off of turn 4 to complete lap number 38. 38 green flag laps, by the way. We are still caution-free here at the Rock.
I'll tell you what, caution-free but not incident-free. I think we saw Joshua Harbison spun around backwards sitting on the track. He's gone. I think we've seen quite a few cars actually nail the wall. One of them was C.J. LeVere. He was running like 4th, went back to 9th, and one lap back 5 spots. Just one lap after nailing the wall. So, and there's a lot of cars doing that. So caution-free but not incident-free here, Cal.
Yeah, indeed, Dakota, and it all kind of goes back to how this track is. It's a very bumpy 1-mile racetrack. You hit the bumps wrong in the turn, and it's going to hurt you coming out, or if you push the car a little bit too hard on the entry, and you're going to go straight up and into that wall. It's, you know, like I said, it's kind of like a speedway that acts like a short track, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of Bristol because of how the banking is and how your corner entry is so important to how you can get through the turn.
Yeah, I would say it is a lot similar to Bristol, but you're not quite running how we run at Bristol up next to the wall through the corners. I mean, these guys are pushing up about the center of the corner so as to miss some of the bumps on the bottom, but they are coming back down to use more of the bottom than you would at a place like Bristol.
Indeed they are. We had just seen that the number 9 machine of Doug Roth, he let go to the leader, and just in front of the leader again we have the number 3 of Billy Weeks. He is currently battling with Timothy Silliman, and that battle is for the 16th position, but they got to yield way here and give some room to Bobby Terrell and Mark Bratcher as they come steaming through. They're going to get around Timothy Silliman, no problem. Billy Weeks is going to try and hold him off a little bit to try and end that battle with Timothy Silliman. It's not going to work too well, as now the number 5 and 24 work their way around, but that lapped car definitely kind of tightened the gap between those two leaders.
That it did, and definitely maybe closed the gap back up between 15 and 3, so Silliman and Weeks kind of closed back up after that. But right now we're watching Mark Bratcher trying to run down this 5 of Terrell, trying to be able to do something with him. Passing here is going to be one of the most interesting and more complicated things to do. And I don't think we've seen, you know, a whole lot of passing unless the car wishes to trouble.
Indeed it is. It's almost a kind of something that he should probably maybe try to shoot for is getting up off of him, off the corner and trying to get around him. Trying to dive that car low with the bumps that are here. You hit him wrong, get the splitter to bump off of one of those bumps, and he could wash up and take the two of them out. And that is definitely not something that Mark Bratcher wants to do.
Definitely is not. As I thought I saw trouble. I want to say it was Ryan Manning. It was Ryan Manning because he was working lap, I want to say this is lap 44, going through turns 1 and 2. He's in 20th position, so coming out of turn number 2 gets way sideways, and I'm wondering if he has damage, because I mean it looked weird, like the toe was knocked out. Gets way sideways, saves it, a little bit of smoke, and pulls back up on the track and gets going again. But he's in 20th now, a lap down.
From what looked like to be a very promising night is going to be a disaster. She gets very, very loose again in turn number 3 and nearly spins out. He saves it and hangs on, but it just such a frustrating run so far for the number 19 of Ryan Manning. We'd seen him pull up to a really good lead for the first 5 laps or so, but then something happened and that just washed all away as he is sliding all over this racetrack and actually almost caused some problems there for the number 31 and the number 2 machines battling on position. It looks like now he's going to drop down to the apron and maybe bring that thing to pit road. Just too much to handle right now. He needs some adjustments.
I gotta wonder if he doesn't have damage or whether he didn't hit the wall or something early in the race. Something just doesn't look right. It looks like the toe's knocked out or something, so when he goes to the corner it just breaks. Something's wrong with it. Could be the tire wear, it could be tires, could be really anything on that car. I'm kind of wondering exactly what that could be that would make a car do that at a place like this.
Indeed it is, and it looks like we have a motor blow up here in turns number 3. Trying to see, it might be a Super Speedway Cup driver. It is the number 32 of Rod Flagg. He has a motor problem at the top of the racetrack. Looks like he has some front end damage, so I'm not sure if he's spun out and crashed to cause that problem, but he is slow on the racetrack heading into turn number 1. He got down to the bottom side okay. If he can keep it onto the apron and maybe be able to limp around here one more lap, maybe we'll see the caution stay in its holster, but I don't know. He's running very slow and only getting slower.
Yeah, I'm really wondering if this car didn't have damage for quite a while, because I mean it was really, really slow for a long time before it actually just gave up as caution is out.
Caution flag does come out. It did not look like he was going to be able to make it back around the racetrack to make it to pit road, so he pulled over, and the caution flag is going to come out after about 45 laps of green flag racing. A great opening run, but a tough break for the Super Speedway Cup team, as one of their drivers is going to fall under the cracks and is probably going to be done for the day here at Rockingham.
And found the cause of the caution will be Tony Bowling, 11th position, lap 50, heading into turns number 1 and 2. He goes through the corner just fine, but when he comes off the corner, he pushes up. He's coming up next to the wall. There's a car there, and that would be Joshua Arbison, who was probably in about, I want to say he's in last position right now, or second to last, 22nd. He is 10 laps down. So it looks like Bowling just comes up, clips that Arbison machine, and spins himself out. Will just barely tag the inside wall after that once or twice here. And now looks like everybody coming down pit road here, Kyle. And Terrell leading them down. Looks like he's going to come into his stop. He'd be the first car on pit road. Right side's going up, so definitely going to be at least 2 tires. I'm expecting 4 tires here. As the right sides go down, he goes over to the left side. Left side's now up on that 5 machine, so it will be a 4-tire change here for the 5 of Bobby Torello. But he's not going to be alone, because here goes Mark Bratcher trying to beat him off pit road. More tire stops for those 2, and I do believe Sean Brown. I don't know whether he drove through or took 2 tires, but yeah, it looks like he just drove through, so he'll come in 14th and come out 3rd. I think he'll have to come back in next time. But it looks like Mark Bratcher and Bobby Terrell will be our first cars out of pit road. And we are looking into Lucky Dog. I do want to say that it could be, I think Timothy Silliman will be our lucky dog. But anyway, while we're pacing here at Rockingham Speedway, we're going to go ahead and step away, take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more green flag action here. Again, this is ETV Live, powered by the AC Radio Network.
If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy.
With green flag racing action from Rockingham Speedway, and regardless of what the ticker says, I'm not on the track. I'm in the broadcast booth. I am Dakota Herman, and both the Kyles having problems here, but Bobby Terrell leading the way under green flag conditions. But right now the battle's for second. Looks like Bratcher, he stacks up quite a bit. He'll check up, and a lot of the cars behind him will have a problem. So we got a big stack of cars here now kind of in line behind the second place car, as it looks now like Andrew Berger is now looking on the inside of Bratcher, but Berger gets sideways. He gets the inside wall just a little bit, but he'll keep going. Looks like he'll be alright, but we'll lose a lot of spots for sure. And now it's John Abbott trying to follow in behind Mark Bratcher, and he does look for the inside lane going into turn number 1. Oh, they almost made contact. And there they go. Looks like Abbott will get around Bratcher. Bratcher gets a little sideways off the corner, but he's still going. And behind them, I want to say that could be, I believe, Dwayne Vincent, who actually was 4th in practice, qualified outside pole, currently running 4th. And right behind Bratcher, he now looks to the inside of the number 24 machine of Mark Bratcher. And he's also got, looks like Guy Snyder following in behind him, but right now, the leader is Bobby Terrell. He's 11 all this action behind him because he's running away. 23.986 is the last lap time. Pretty quick one compared to John Abbott's 24.091. Moving around here, it looks like somebody having some problems here. They're not quite having problems. I don't know what's going on, but it looks like the 27, Steve Rosner, might be falling back a little bit. He's in 8th position, was scored in 8th position last time he crossed the finish line. So he's trying to follow the 29. I think the 29 just got around him, I do want to say. The 29 was in 9th position, so right behind him is now looks like he has more company from, that looks like Jose Gonzalez. And Jose Gonzalez will get around him without a problem. He's from Real Sim Racing. And behind them, Steve Spieth. So it looks like Steve Rosner going backwards a little bit here. As the field comes across for lap 63 of 115. It is still Bobby Terrell leading the way with John Abbott 1.3 seconds behind him. Mark Bratcher 1.9 behind the leader, and 0.6 behind John Abbott. Dwayne Vincent sitting fourth with Guy Snyder in the fifth position. How about Greg McKinney in sixth? He didn't run a practice lap to my knowledge. Well, he did. He was 19th on the board. He qualified 18th. Currently running in the 6th position in that number 23 machine. His teammate Ryan Manning, who started off with the pole, looked strong early on, having all kinds of problems here tonight. Now 2 laps down. It looks like McKinney's car looking much better than Ryan Manning's car currently, as Manning's car was snapping around quite a bit earlier, as we noted. Glenn Edrick running in the 7th position. Pretty good run, solid run for the number 31 machine. Brandon Chaburka running in 8th position with Jose Gonzalez in 9th, and Steve Reisner running out the top 10 currently. Steve Spiess in 11th. And then you have, it looks like lead lap cars and lap cars battling it out. Tony Bowling and Sean Brown, Tim Silliman, Andrew Berger, and those a few of those are lap down cars. Bobby Terrell comes across the line to lead lap 67 now of 115. John Abbott still trying to close that gap a little bit. I believe Kyle Peddle has joined us up here in the broadcast piece. Or not Kyle Peddle, but Kyle Young getting his equipment fixed there. Kyle.
So back up front here, Bobby Terrell now starting to open up a gap here over John Abbott. He's showing some very, very strong strength here in the later portion of this race, and he definitely is one to watch and could possibly contend and pick up the win for this race, and that would be a huge statement for the Asphalt Assault guys, and what a turnaround. And I think I just saw somebody parked in the infield, Dakota.
I don't know who that would be, but there's a possibility it might have been Rod Flagg. He has put the car behind the wall for the night. Oh wait, that was a while ago. We can see it smoke coming out of the engine, so it definitely was not Rod Flagg. I'm wondering who that could have been. I don't think it was the pace car either, so we're still going through the field. I don't see anybody that's really having that problem, unless it might have been Ryan Manning. Ryan sideways once again, coming off the corner, position 20, lap 67, off of turn number 4. I wonder if it could have been him, because he's been all over the place every time he comes off a corner, just sideways like the car is still broken. It was not him that was through the infield, but definitely could have been the way he's been having problems with that machine.
Yeah, something does not look right underneath of the number 19 machine of Ryan Manning. He's been struggling for a very long portion of this race after leading the first opening laps. I'm not 100% sure what's wrong with that car, but he is struggling. I'm sure he's not happy underneath that helmet.
How about the freight train of cars back here from 8th position on back? It was Brendan Chaburko in 8th. He's now back to 9th. Steve Reisner moving up in front of him. Chaburko all kinds of sideways, and now he has company from Steve Spiess and a few other cars. A few of them being a lap down here. This is a big group of cars here. Oh,
indeed it is, and Chaburko gets hard on the outside wall.
Huge wreck.
Problems out on the racetrack when Brendan Chaburko gets into the wall, and a late hit in there into the right side driver's door of that number 2 machine. That was the 21. He got into the 2 hard, and that's going to hurt the 2 car extremely bad. A massive problem off of turn 2 onto the backstretch to bring out our second caution of the night.
Wow, what a big incident there.
Taking a look back to see what happened there, Brandon Chaburko was running the top side in turn number 2, and it looks like he pushed it just too much coming off of the corner and made contact with the outside wall. He held on to it okay, but the number 2 machine of Tony Bowling couldn't quite see it happening quick enough and couldn't check up quick enough. He got into the back of the 29. That checked him up. The number 15 of Timothy Silliman had nowhere to go. Neither did the number 30 of Andrew Berger. So quite a few guys getting taken out in this one. Some pretty heavy impacts on the back straightaway there. And then we saw late in the going there, Jesse Murphy just came in and absolutely destroyed the right side of the number 2 machine.
The ironic part is 2 or 3 of the cars involved in that incident were in the lucky dog position had the other not been able to get it. So this is shaking things up when it comes to the lucky dog.
Shaking things up all over the racetrack in so many different ways. An unfortunate occurrence then. It looks like it might have taken out one driver of every team. We had the ETV Live Super Speedway Cup, Halls on Post, and Hollywood Motorsports have a driver taken out in that, and I have a feeling that some of those damages are probably going to be terminal on a couple of those cars.
Definitely, and watching a lot of the cars come down pit road right now here. It looks like Bobby Terrell was the first car down on pit road. Almost everybody coming down. Terrell going to get 4 tires. Once again, this will be the second time he gets 4 tires, and left side's down. He's away, trying to beat out all his competition. It looks like Dwayne Vincent will be out second, right on the heels of Terrell.
Bobby Terrell just barely beating out his Asphalt Assault teammate of the number 6 of Dwayne Vincent. He's going to jump up a spot and put himself into second place. So that's going to put the Asphalt Assault guys up on the front row for the restart. They seem to be the team to beat so far. They still have, we still got, I believe, if I do my math correct, 40 laps to go. So, so far so good for the Asphalt Assault guys. Hopefully they can close up the deal and bring their team home in victory lane. It sure looks like they are the team to beat so far.
Definitely.
Looking at the rest of the running order coming out of the pits, John Abbott was 3rd, Mark Bretcher 4th, and Mark's teammate Greg McKinney comes out in 5th place. He cracks the top 5 and is going to restart here in 5th place on the restart here. I'm looking through, and I think that the lucky dog might be the number 19 of Ryan Manning if he didn't already get a lap back. I think he was 2 laps down before, so he might have already gone around for the lucky dog, but I believe that is who is going to get it. Not 100% sure. We're going to wait on race control to see who is going to be our lucky dog here under our second caution.
And can confirm there is no lucky dog this caution. With everything being shaken up there, I think the plan was still, we were looking into that rule. Looks like Tony Bowling might have still been eligible. We're not quite sure. Again, something we'd have to look into, but it looked like it could have been possibly Tony Bowling still, with the fact that he had nowhere to go. But his car was destroyed to the point that he couldn't keep rolling, so deciding no lucky dog eligible this time.
Yeah, and you mentioned he could not keep going. Tony Bowling put his car behind the wall and has climbed out. He is done for the day, retiring that number 2 machine. It looks like he is going to finish in the 20th position. The field is doubled up. We're half a lap away from going back green flag racing.
And looks like Terrell leading an inside lane. He's still on the front row right now. Dwayne Vincent on his outside. John Abbott in 3rd with Mark Bratcher in 4th. Greg McKinney all the way up to 5th. He was nowhere to be found in practice or qualifying, but he's currently running 5th. Guy Snyder up to 6th. Jose Gonzalez 7th with Steve Rosner 8th. Glenn Hedrick 9th, and Steve Spees rounding out the top 10 right now as the pace car dives. And they get set for the green flag, Kyle.
Green flag is back out. We are underway once again. Mark Bratcher going to look to the top side and maybe think about making the 3 wide. He's going to stay there for right now. Terrell is going to clear Dwayne Vincent on the inside, and those 2 Asphalt Assault guys are going to look to pull away from the field. Mark Bratcher is going to clear the number 10 machine, of John Abbott on the top side. Now he goes to try and attack Dwayne Vincent's number 6 machine as they work their way off of turn number 4. Lap 78 goes to Bobby Terrell.
Terrell still leading the way. Dwayne Vincent right on his heels, but here comes Bratcher with a huge run on 6, and Dwayne Vincent. Bratcher going to fall off the 6 now. Looks like Vincent carrying a lot of momentum, trying to run down the Bobby Terrell machine. And he's doing a pretty good job of it, because here comes Vincent looking to the inside, but they're going to be 3 wide. There goes Bratcher to the inside.
Terrell made a bit of a slip there in the middle of 3 and 4, and it's going to cost his teammate Dwayne Vincent a spot. Mike Brasher going to work his way around him on the inside now. Here comes John Abbott trying to make the move to the inside as they work into turn number 3. He's got a handful, can't quite do it behind him. Guy Snyder tries to hold off the number 23 of Greg McKinney. He's able to fall back in line. He's going to try and make the move underneath of John Abbott as they head into turn number 1. Guy Snyder knows that his 2 teammates are right up there in the top 3. He wants to join them and try to make it an asphalt assault 1, 2, 3. But right now, Greg McKinney and John Abbott are ruining that plan.
Yeah, and how about Bratcher? He's still holding on in the second position. He's looking to get around this 5 car. Bobby Turley's got a lot of speed here. He's kind of got to the bumper of the 5 now, kind of get around him as caution comes out.
Caution is out on the Speedway for the 3rd time tonight. The number 29 of Brendan Chaburko for the Super Speedway Cup team. He has gone around and might have found the wall as well. We're going to get John up on a replay with that, and we will find out what happened for sure.
I think he also found the track with his roof. He went barrel rolling a few times, but it was Brendan Chaburko, lap 81, position 15. In the 29 car going off of turn number 4. He gets the apron and gets sideways onto the outside wall and just goes rolling.
Wow, that was a very weird looking crash. He just got extremely loose off of turn number 4, hit the wall and pirouetted upside down. The number 30 machine of Andrew Berger had one heck of a view. He actually ran into the flipping 29 machine. His teammate, definitely not how he wants to greet his teammate, looking at him through the windshield of his flying car above him. A very hard crash for the number 29. He was able, I think he drove it back to pit lane, but I don't think he's going to be doing anything else. He drove it back to pit lane, took it behind the wall. Brendan Chaburko out of tonight's event.
Definitely, Kyle, but it looks like nobody really coming down pit road here. So it's just going to be a bit of a pace lap here with everybody just trying to make sure to keep those tires cool and not do anything stupid here. Oh, we do have some takers on pit road, more of the rear of the field kind of cars, or at least I see maybe 8th or 6th on back, but no, it looks more like 9th and back, but a lot of cars coming down 4 tires and fuel in their way. Some taking a little bit longer to fix the damage. Looks like Steve Roster came in 9th, and he'll be the first car off pit road.
Yeah, those guys running towards the back of the field a little bit, they don't have too much to lose track position-wise, so they're going to come in, refresh some tires, maybe get another can or 2 of Sunoco fuel, and head back on out there for these next 30 laps or so. We had a quick run there, so most of the guys up front, they decided to stay out. Not a ton of tire wear done to where they feel the need is there to come on down and make a pit stop. So looks like the top 8 or so are going to stay the same, and we'll check a lineup coming out of the pits here momentarily.
Definitely here. Why don't we try to get Bobby Terrell on radio maybe? And I believe we have him, Bobby Terrell, current leader on the racetrack. Terrell, you got to copy him in. This is Dakota Herman of the broadcast booth, joined by Kyle Young.
Yeah, I copy you, Dakota.
Man, you're up front, but you got a lot of company, man.
Yeah, and everybody's worked on their car a little bit, so it's going to be interesting. I haven't touched mine. It's fine where it's at. It got a little loose just then, but I hadn't felt that all night, but I'm sure these guys have been working on theirs.
And Bobby, man, do you think you can hold these guys off with the way they've been adjusting the cars a little bit faster?
Well, we'll see. I mean, we got, what, 30 laps left?
I'd say about that, yeah.
I'm going to try. I'm sitting up front, and that's a good position to be in.
Now, you started 3rd. That would mean you had to get around at least 2 cars so far this race. Have you kind of figured out how to pass here, or not quite had enough practice? I know you had to work through a lot of lap traffic there.
No, I've figured out how to pass a little bit if you can get a run on them off the corner.
All right, Bobby, we'll work on the backstretch, get set to go back green flag racing. Good luck to you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we've talked to somebody before about holding somebody off for the final stretch of the race, and they ended up winning the race, so we'll have to keep our eye on that.
Indeed, we will. And looking at the lineup here, Bobby Terrell is not alone. He has two of his Asphalt Assault teammates lining up 3rd and 5th behind him, Dwayne Vincent and Guy Snyder the 4th. Look for this team to possibly pull off the win here tonight. The pace car is down on pit road. Bobby Terrell has control. Green flag is out. A great start for him. He's able to easily clear the 24, and that's going to be able to give Dwayne Vincent the chance to file right on by him, and Guy Snyder the 4th is looking to do the same. The Asphalt Assault guys looking to try to get up at 1, 2, 3. Bratcher has a slide off of turn number 2, and they've got it. Asphalt Assault 1, 2, 3 into turn number 3.
I believe Bratcher may have pushed the wall a little bit there, unfortunately, in the 24. Whoa! I think it's sideways. Kinsey going straight, but he got a little sideways there.
Bratcher making a mistake there. We got a car sideways in turns 1 and 2. It's number 3 machine. For the Halls on Post driver, he's sideways. No yellow flag comes out. That's Billy Weeks. I believe he somehow saved it. That car was extremely sideways. The yellow flag stays in its holster, and we stay green flag racing.
Battle for 4th position, I do believe. It's John Abbott trying to get around Mark Bratcher, and he does get around Bratcher, so Bratcher going back another spot, seeing a lot of smoke somewhere on the racetrack. Might have another incident somewhere.
Bratcher continuing to fall. Yeah, Bratcher continuing to fall back now as Greg McKinney's going to slide on by him. Bratcher, horrible race car right now off for the restart. He's fallen back at least 3 or 4 positions, and now he's falling into the clutches of Jose Gonzalez and his number 12 machine. So Bratcher having some problems out, maybe similar to what we saw with Ryan Manning. He did fairly well and is now starting to drop back.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering. I mean, we've seen a little bit of a handling issue since the start here. So he's sideways again, saves it. I mean, you have to really watch that machine, but I mean, it was getting sideways. And how about the 7 of Guy Snyder? He's coming backwards in a hurry as well. He's now, or at least falling back 1 spot to John Abbott. And he's coming back on the inside. Abbott gets the wall on the outside. This is going to bring Greg McKinney up to the bumper of both these cars as now they go back single file with Abbott leading the way. Caution flies, and McKinney will not get by either of them, but looking for the caution here. It's Doug Roth. He was in, I believe, 10th position in the 9 car. Lap 91 coming off of turn number 2. He just gets to the outside wall, it looks like, and sticks and spins it around.
He is not alone. It looks like Ryan Manning had to make a huge evasive maneuver to try and avoid him, and he made a too much of an evasive maneuver, and he destroyed the front end of his race car. Actually, oh, now I see what happened. Doug Roth was trying to get his car going, did not see the 19 machine of Ryan Manning coming. Ryan got him in the nose, got the inside wall, and his night is probably going to be done. That's a slap in the face to what has happened to him tonight. The engine is smoking, probably going to have to put that number 19 machine behind the wall.
That's been unfortunate for Manning, but you know, I'm sure he's happy he doesn't have to wheel the thing like he's been. He's been driving that race car. It's been sideways coming off every corner, and we'll definitely have to talk to him about that, see what was going on with that machine.
Meanwhile, we got 2 of the 3 leaders down on pit road. Bobby Terrell and Dwayne Vincent come on down. Guy Snyder the 4th, Jose Gonzalez, they stay out. Some mixed strategy here, Dakota.
That's interesting. We'll have to see how exactly that plays out when we go back to green flag racing. Kind of wondering. But anyway, joining us up in the broadcast booth, Ryan Manning, you just ran into some trouble.
Yeah, I did. I seen him rolling down the track as soon as I went to go low, and then he stopped as soon as I went to go high. Just happens.
And man, you've been making the highlights all night, and probably not for the reason you'd like to have. Man, you've been sideways. Something wrong with the car? Did you hit the wall or something in the beginning?
No, I was wrong with the setup. Just a bad setup. I missed it. Missed it bad. It just got terribly loose. In, out, everywhere.
Yeah, I was starting to wonder, how did you manage to keep that thing straight as long as you did? I mean, you come off a corner every other lap, it'd be sideways.
I don't know, I was just fighting it. I can't believe it went green as long as it did. And at first I wasn't too worried about it, and then we started getting into the 20s, and then lap 30s, and then the 40s, and I was like, this ain't good. I was hoping to get it fixed before it got too deep into it, and then I went a lap down, and a lot of these wrecks aren't bringing cautions out, so I'll lose 5 and 6 seconds at a time, so it's pretty tough.
And I know your teammate, Greg McKinney, he's up front. He's in about, I want to say about 6th position or up there, somewhere towards the front, actually showing 8th. Seen a different setup. I know he wasn't really showing anything in practice. He was 19th and qualified 18th.
Yeah, the 2 cars that are up front are in a different setup, totally different spring combination than what me and the 20, I think he's a 21, Jesse Murphy are running. So it's we missed it badly. But them guys are fast. Right. I hope they can get up there and get it.
Any shout outs you'd like to throw out there?
I shout out to Mark for doing his homework and bringing a good setup to the track where I like to do.
All right, thank you, Ryan, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
And there was Ryan Manning.
The field has gotten the when to go. The pace car lights are off, and as we double up for the restart, a couple drivers staying out. Those few drivers are the number 7 machine of Guy Snyder the 4th. He is going to lead the field down the green as your leader with 20 laps to go when we take the green flag. Jose Gonzalez in the number 12 second, Steve Rosner 3rd, and then number 27. John Abbott did come down pit road. However, he took 2 tires on his pit stop. CJ Oliveira was just able to beat Bobby Terrell off the pit road. They are 5th and 6th. 7th is Dwayne Vincent, and then Greg McKinney, Mark Bratcher, and Billy Weeks rounding out the top 10. Pace car is down onto pit road. Guy Snyder has the throttle down to the floor. Green flag is out. We are racing once again here at the Rock. Jose Gonzalez is going to try and stick even with the number 7 machine. He can't quite do that. Guy Snyder is going to be able to clear and start to pull away off of turn number 2.
20 laps remaining here. It'll be 19 at the finish line as Guy Snyder now works into turn number 3. Caution's out.
CJ Oliveira with problems on the back straightaway. He goes around and is going to collect the number 21 of Jesse Murphy, and one of the Halls on Post drivers is also involved. He has some serious engine problems. That is going to be the number 4 of Jonathan Medlin. A huge points hitting night for your team points leaders on Halls on Post. This is going to shake up a ton, and I believe it was the Super Speedway Cup guys that are currently 2nd place in points, so they have a huge opening to try and get some points tonight.
Yeah, they do. I mean, Medlin, he's up in smoke after that incident. He's on pit road and might as well be done. And he's only in 20th position, 21 laps down as it is. And how about Guy Snyder? He's using pit strategy. Now he's up there with, it's going to be 15 laps or less to go when we go back green flag racing.
I didn't quite understand why he stood out, but maybe he knew something that we don't, and this just might work for him. A crazy turn of events right now, and taking back a look at the replay here, we see the number 11 machine. He just got a little too loose. He touched that yellow line, touched the apron, slid coming off of turn number 2, and the first thing he sees is that pretty white wall down on the inside. He made some heavy contact with the inside, lost control of the race car, and started to come back up the racing surface. Looks like he's going to come in contact with the number 4, just nowhere for him to go. The 4 machine gets right into the rear end of the number 11, puts the 11 up into the air, nearly going upside down. And the number 21 of Jesse Murphy couldn't quite avoid the 4 car. Well, actually, he slid to avoid the 4 car. Fortunately for him, he didn't hit any walls, just had to slide to avoid him. He should be able to spin his car back around and be able to continue on without a problem. But CJ Oliveira has already gotten out of his number 11 machine. He is done for the day, and I will be surprised if the number 4 is going to be able to continue as well.
Yeah, and kind of feel sorry for those guys, running really well on the points and just having a bad night here. A lot of those guys, especially the 4, Jonathan Medlin, and his Halls on Post team. Tony Bowling, Harbison, and Flag having bad days.
It has been a tough week for some drivers here tonight, but for some others, like the Asphalt Assault guys, they are looking to pick up a win here tonight at Rockingham. They definitely have been the team to beat, and they got a little bit of competition here with the Full Throttle Cup guys. I believe they are the next best looking team right now, and then I would say Hollywood Motorsports would be a close third to challenge these Asphalt Assault guys.
Definitely. I want to keep our eyes on this Hollywood Motorsports cars. Really strong usually, and they've shown a lot of strength with Ryan Manning the first 5 laps of the race, and then it was, I want to say, Mark Rogers come up a little ways. How about Greg McKinney is now up in the top 10 with him. These guys, I believe, will be on fresh tires behind Bobby Terrell and Dwayne Vincent. If these guys can, find the way around the cars, I think if they can get clean air, these will be cars to watch out for.
How about Steve Rosner and Sean Brown, the 2 Crossed-Up Motorsports teammates? Steve Rosner running in 3rd place right now, Sean Brown cracking the top 10 in 9th place. Those 2 Crossed-Up Motorsports guys, we haven't heard much from them at all tonight. We're going to have 15 to go when we go back. Green Flag Racing, they are looking to sneak up here and steal some points away. It should be an interesting finish here, Dakota. I'm looking forward to these final 15 laps.
As am I, as the field works to 3 and 4. Double foul getting set for the green flag. Pace cars getting set to dive off. We'll have 15 laps remaining at the start-finish line, Cal Young.
Indeed, we will. The Ford Mustang iRacing pace car is going to duck down on a pit road and pull off. Green flag is back in the air. Guy Snyder, the 4th, is going to be able to clear the number 12 of Jose Gonzalez, and now John Abbott clears the 27 of Steve Rosner. Rosner in close quarters with the number 6 of Dwayne Vincent, and that's going to open the door for Bobby Terrell to come around Vincent on the inside. Side by side is ahead into turn number 3 between the 2 Asphalt Assault teammates.
Vincent will clear Bobby Terrell, and he'll set his sights now on the 27 of Steve Rosner, who's sitting in 4th position. So he goes to the inside of Rosner. Rosner's going to have to, I believe, forfeit the spot here, maybe, if Vincent can clear him. That's going to be the question, though, because Rosner's hanging in there. But here it comes. They make contact. Vincent around the inside. He's spinning up the track. Huge wreck once again. And that will collect at least Vincent. And I see a lot of smoke from that car, like he might have made even more contact with another car, possibly. Yeah, it was. I think he got I want to say it was Billy Weeks. He got. It was Billy Weeks. Just barely clipped Billy Weeks.
Well, Dakota, it's not the first time that we've seen this, and showing some things that it might not be the last. This changes everything.
That it does. Those guys had really timed out the restart up front, and I think they were going somewhere with it. But now that we've got this caution, they've got to do it again, and this brings those guys behind them just that much closer.
Indeed it does, and looking back at that, looks like the 27 had an upset race car off of turn number 2. He drove down, got into the 6, and the 6 made heavy contact to the inside wall, shot back up the racetrack. Looks like it was the number 3 of Billy Weeks, and I think it was the 15 of Timothy Silliman to make some slight contact, and also getting caught up in that one. Dwayne Vincent, he has climbed out of the race car. He is not happy throwing the Hans device around inside that racing machine, and definitely understandable. He had a car definitely worth contending for the win, and his team definitely strong enough to probably pick up the win. Unfortunately, they are one guy shy now, and it's going to be a little bit harder for Asphalt Assault to pick up the victory here tonight.
It definitely will. I do want to throw a shout out here, though, to Guy Snyder up here on the strategy. Like we said, he's doing a fantastic job. He could very well go to victory lane here.
Indeed, he could. And what a turnaround of events that would be. I wouldn't have predicted him to be able to keep it up front. But these cautions that he has had, they definitely helped him keep his track position And it's definitely for the better. We're going to have less than 10 laps to go when we go green flag racing. So hopefully he can keep those tires in check and be able to bring his machine into victory lane. But I know of 2 drivers behind him who do not want to see that happen. The 12 of Jose Gonzalez and the 10 of John Abbott. They want to get Full Throttle Cup a 1-2 finish. And I'm sure they are going to have no problems taking that from Guy Snyder.
I wouldn't say that though. I think Guy Snyder, I think he could possibly, hold those guys up. He could, maybe defend himself against them. I'm sure they work together in some way. Being both from Milsim Racing, they may have close to the same equipment underneath the cars, and I think we could see Guy Snyder sneak to victory lane here over those guys behind him. I really got my eyes on the 7 machine here.
It's definitely going to be an interesting and entertaining battle to watch here for these final, I'll say, 8 or 9 laps or so once we get the green flag. And it looks like it's going to be 9 laps as the field has the white flag 1 lap to go until we go green flag race. We're going to double them up and see who is going to come out on top here at the Rock.
As a lot of people are, like myself, like to say, here we go.
Indeed we are. 9 laps. It's gonna get brutal. A brutal fight for the victory here. We got a couple of teams who have a chance to pick up the win here. We still have the Asphalt Assault guys, the Full Throttle guys, Hollywood Motorsports, Crossout Motorsports is starting to work their way through. The Super Speedway Cup guys are back there a little bit, so anybody can win this race right now, and it is going to be exciting to see that happen. The field works their way through turns number 4. The pace car is about ready to duck down on the pit road and put Guy Snyder the 4th back in control of the field, getting ready to take the restart. The pace car is now on pit road. Snyder goes, green flag is out. John Abbott is going to get a good jump and be able to clear Jose Gonzalez on the inside. Bobby Terrell going to try and get around Gonzalez. Can't quite do it off of turn number 2. Side by side for 5th back there. They end that battle single file throughout the field.
Up front, though, it's Guy Snyder holding off John Abbott as he crosses the line for lap 108 of 115.
Scene coming off of turn number 4. Abbott had a bit of a wiggle there off of turn 4. Gonna hurt his forward momentum a little bit, trying to get back to the bumper of Guy Snyder the 4th. As Snyder pushes up a little bit off of turn number 4. A great run for Abbott off of turn number 4. He's going to try and get to the rear bumper. Meanwhile, Bobby Terrell going to get around Jose Gonzalez for the 3rd position down into turn number 1. He's going to try and clear and bring the number 24, Mark Bratcher, with him. Still trying to get around. The number 7 is John Abbott. He wants to put a Full Throttle Cup car into victory lane, but he's got to get around the 7 to do it first. And here comes the 5 of Bobby Terrell. He's been fast all night. He knows that he's got a teammate up in the lead. He wants to win the race to get back to where he was, but he also wants to finish 2nd to finish with the team.
Here comes Bobby. That's his name. He's got with a lot of huge run. He's got fresh tires and a lot of speed. 6 laps remaining, 5 to go at the lines. He's going to get to the bumper of the 10 just coming out of turn number 4. He's going to have plenty of laps to make his move. I think he got up here in the perfect time.
The flagger's hand is out. 5 laps of racing to go. John Abbott dives it hard into turn number 1 and is going to lose a little bit coming off. He is trying ever so hard to get it to the number 7. He slides off of turn number 2 and leaves the outside open for Bobby Terrell. Terrell going to try and take it. Not the preferred line. He's going to make it happen, though. He's going to be able to clear the number 10 machine off of turn number 4. Asphalt Assault moves in the top 2, and Mark Bratcher battling with John Abbott for 3rd.
4 laps remaining as Bratcher and Abbott almost make contact. They're close, almost banging doors. Oh! Abbott almost gets turned around, saves it, but he'll lose a ton of spots, and Bratcher will get around Abbott. As now it looks like Jose Gonzalez wanting to get to the inside of Bratcher, maybe get to the bumper. He's coming a little large run there. Bratcher's sideways. And then Jose Gonzalez moving high, moving low. He's finally going to go low. Almost makes contact. Does make contact. Will come up. And the 24 is, I believe, around. And he may lose a lot of spots. He is. Yeah, he's around. Big wreck. Collects his teammate McKinney. John Abbott. Caution's out. The race is over. It is Mark Bratcher and Jose Gonzalez ending the race under caution as Bratcher now goes for a ride. He's going to get flipped over a bit.
Oh boy, I think we're gonna have some problems after this one. I kind of feel like there might have been some intent behind that with Jose Gonzalez. You saw that Bratcher got his teammate booted out of the way, and maybe Gonzalez not happy about that, sticking up for his teammate, and he got into Mark Bratcher and it sent him around. This is going to make for an interesting post-race once again. Drama here in the ETV Team Series. But putting our attention back to the front of the field, Guy Snyder IV is going to be able to make this strategy work for him, and he is going to be able to pick up the victory for this one. And look who's behind him, Bobby Terrell. I believe this might be the first 1-2 finish that we have seen by a team this season. And I'm going to assume, looking through the lineup, I don't know, that might give the win to the Asphalt Assault guys here for the team race.
Definitely wondering, but Jose Gonzalez, I don't think it was quite on purpose. I won't say Jose Gonzalez just racing hard, got to the inside, and just Bratcher maybe too far down. They ended up making contact. I try and look at this again, make contact, but I don't know that it was on purpose. And then Jose Gonzalez was shot down to the apron. He came up trying to save the car and just collected Bratcher. I mean, there was nowhere he could really go.
Put you back, I don't think.
And I know Bratcher is not happy about this at all.
Not at all. He is a very frustrated man right now, but somebody who is not frustrated is the guy inside that number 7 machine. We're going to get a live reaction from him here. Guy Snyder coming off of turn 4 under yellow. He is going to pick up the victory. Guy Snyder, congratulations.
Aw, man, I'm freaking overly enjoyed, man. This is the biggest win in a long time for me.
Guy Snyder IV picking up the victory here. He is instantly starting to celebrate his machine. A very, very happy guy. And not only did you win the race, Guy, but you were able to get your teammate in second place. That is huge. I believe it might be the first 1-2 finish for a team here in the Team Series. Talk about how much that means.
Oh, it's big. You know, it's the whole series is meant to, work with your teammates. And at one point, I was third, and my 2 Asphalt Assault teammates were 1-2, and I was really hoping it would go green, even though I wasn't going to get the victory, because we were really going to put a thrashing on them today. But 1-2, we'll settle for it.
A good showing by these Asphalt Assault guys. We're going to let Guy finish up his celebration. We'll get a more in-depth conversation going with him down in Victory Lane. We're going to take some time to wrap up the finishing results here. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we will be back to talk to the top 3 leading finishers for their teams. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
It's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4 in the checkered flag. He wins his first NASCAR highlight.
It's just me.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And we're back live at Rockingham Speedway with, I believe, Kyle Young. We're actually going straight to Victory Lane with Kyle Young, who's now officially with Guy Snyder, who's climbed out of the car.
Indeed, I am down here, Dakota. Guy Snyder climbing out of the car, and we talked to him a little bit earlier while he was celebrating, got a few words with him, but the one thing that I really want to talk to you about real quick here, Guy, was your strategy. You stayed out under the caution with about 20 laps to go. Your teammates Bobby Terrell and Dwayne Vincent decided to come into the pits. What was up with that? Just feeling like maybe you had a better chance to do something special, or were you the other guys trying to get you to go down too?
Bobby Terrell had me, well, both of them had me beat dead to rights. They were both faster than me, and I was begging them to stay out. We didn't pit the other time, and I said, your team's going to take off them tires, and you're going to look at them, and they're going to be fine. And I just noticed towards the end, you know, everybody gears up and gets all anxious, and yellows come out. And I literally counted down the yellows. I said, I'm 3 yellows from victory. I'm 2 yellows from victory. I'm 1 yellow from victory. Because Bobby, you know, he was behind me, but had enough of a cushion that I could bring home the victory.
And indeed, you were able to. You know, we had mentioned how big of a importance that this 1-2 finish is for you and Bobby. You guys are part of that that battle for the 3rd place now, as we're halfway through the season. 6 races down, 6 races to go. With this 1-2 finish, how much more important is it to finish 1-2 and to know that might solidify a bit of a gap now on that 3rd place points position?
It's real big, and you know, I try to keep my mind off the points. You know, you just try to run and get your best finish, do what you can for your teammates. But I mean, you can't underplay the importance of a 1-2. That's real big, and it's a shame Dwayne got involved in something there late. He was having a good run too.
Indeed it is. It could have been very interesting to see if maybe Asphalt Assault could have gone 1-2-3 if Vincent didn't unfortunately get taken out. The mic is all yours, Guy. Anybody you want to thank? Any special shout-outs you want to give?
I just got to thank Bobby Terrell, Dwayne Vincent, of course. They're my teammates. Dave Lanza, who isn't here tonight, he had some business to attend to. Got to thank our sister team under the RSR stable, Full Throttle Cup. Those guys, they share some notes, and we work together a little bit on setups. You know, we keep our team, try to give ourselves an advantage, but it's nice to have them to lean on. I got to thank RSR in general. Got to thank ETV Live and HD Radio Network, Bob Earl. Racing chassis, pretty much everything. It was a great night for us, and I'm just happy to be involved in this, happy to get a W.
Your victor here tonight at the Rockingham Speedway. Guy Standard of the 4th, driving for the Asphalt Assault team, picks up the W here tonight, and going to send it now down to Dakota Ehrman, who has caught up with our 3rd place finisher and our representative for the Full Throttle Cup team, Jose Gonzalez.
And Jose, you finished 3rd, but you're the first placing driver for your team. So, getting the interview here, what a race for you. Managing to, at the end come through 3rd, but there was an incident. That's what everybody's been talking about, this incident between you and Mark Bradshaw. Was there anything to it, or just a racing deal? I believe Jose Gonzalez is having some problems here. Well, I guess we're going to put that on hold, and we'll go throw it to Kyle Young with Steve Rosner, your 4th place finisher, as I try to fix Jose Gonzalez's headset.
Thank you, Dakota. Now down here with Steve Rosner, our 4th place finisher, our representative for Crossed Out Motorsports. Rosner, is kind of a quiet night for you guys, but you guys were able to show up towards the end of the race, and you were able to fight back and got yourself a 4th place finish tonight.
Yeah, actually, quite a surprising finish for us. Didn't exactly. We purposely started at the back. We anticipated a lot of carnage tonight. That's probably due to the A race we had a week or so ago. We got a lot of experience doing Rockingham there. But no, we had a great race. All I intended to do was just to keep the nose of the car clean and do my best to stay out of the wrecks.
Indeed, you guys did. It was a bit of a tough week for you guys last week. Coming off of the team victory at Iowa and then having some problems early at Chicagoland, you're able to rebound back and lead the team to a pretty decent finish. Talk about how big that is important now that we're halfway through the season to shift that momentum back into a positive note heading into Atlanta next week.
Absolutely. We need that momentum. I think we got all 3 cars tonight into the top 10, and we're still on the hunt. We're still mathematically quite in this, so it's anybody's game right now. But there's a lot of good teamwork going on, and we're going to keep plugging away. The way you win this team series is work on it as a team. And you got to finish the races in the top 10, and then you're going to have a shot at it.
Indeed, you will. 6 races down, 6 races to go. It's going to be interesting to see how you guys can battle back and try to make it up there in the point standings, but you can't do it alone. As you said, it's a team series, it's a team effort. I'm sure you got some great teammates that you want to give a shout out to and some thanks to. The mic is all yours if you got somebody you want to talk about.
You bet. I want to thank my teammates Sean Brown and Steve Spees tonight. We good communication between us, and we know how we have to finish in order to get our team points up. I just want to give a shout out to HD Radio Network. And thank them for their sponsoring of our series. Shout out to ETV Live and the broadcasting show they do. They do an awesome job. And thank you to Crossed Out Motorsports and Donnie Klein, our other teammate, couldn't make it tonight, but Klein Design does all our cars. So a big thank you to him.
Steve Rosner, our 4th place finisher, the representative for the 3rd place finishing team for tonight's event at Rockingham. He comes home in the 4th place. And Dakota, we got anything new on Jose?
No, I think that the batteries went dead in his headset, so we sent somebody to go get some new ones, and I think he got lost looking at the concessions probably.
Well, that's a darn shame. I was looking forward to hearing from our 3rd place finisher there.
As was I.
Well, we are halfway through the season now, halfway through the ETV Live Team Series. It's been a very interesting season so far. We got 6 races to go. Dakota, what are your thoughts heading into this the second half after seeing what we've seen so far in the first half?
Well, we've seen a lot of a race or two with little cautions, very few cautions, which is really cool. We've seen a few races with a lot of cautions. We've seen a lot of drama, which shouldn't be there. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens in the closing weeks, the following weeks. and some of the racetracks coming up. This was a rather tough racetrack, and I think everybody handled it rather well until about the closing laps. We had several cautions, but really looking forward to seeing what happens in the coming future. Any rule changes that might happen to help the racing or hurt the racing, to fix the drama in the end of the races. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. And Jerry Wolf also has some closing comments, I do believe.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, guys. I've been busy up there in the old score sheet doing the score sheets tonight and got you guys some results already for next week. Got you going here. It looks like we have a new team leader, ladies and gentlemen. ETV, the Super Speedway Cup Series. Those drivers are now 4 points ahead of the Halls on Post guys. So a little bit of a shake-up this week, Dakota.
That's intriguing. How about that?
It looks like we're going to have Super Speedway Cup with 700 points. Halls on Post will come out of here second in the team points. Asphalt Assault third. Crossed Up Motorsports fourth. Full Throttle will be fifth. The ETV Live team will be sixth. And Hollywood Motorsports seventh there, Kyle Young. So that'll be your shake-up for this week, and that's your final points after this race. No penalties to give out this week. Hallelujah. I'm out.
And there's Jerry Wolf. Al, how about your closing thoughts here?
Yeah, going back to what I left you off with, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a great second half of the season. We've seen some great racing, we've seen some drama. It'll be interesting to see what we see in the second half. We had a big shake up in tonight's event as the Super Speedway Cup guys, they have taken over the points lead over the Halls on Post drivers. So, that's huge. It's going to be a great second half of the season to watch to see how that battle plays out and who's going to get this championship. And it's going to be a great start next week as we're heading to Atlanta Motor Speedway next week for the RealSimRacing.com 150. For 100 laps of racing action. So make sure you come back here next week, same time, same place, for the 7th race in the ETV Live Team Series.